Las Vegas. This is Jim Feist and Dave Koken out here in Las Vegas, coming off a great football weekend. Dave, that game last night, I was on Seattle, and man, I thought I had it easy going up and down the field, no points, 3-0 at halftime. Man, it was kind of one of those games I was thinking, am I going to dominate this game and give it away at the end? Well, it turned one way or another, they got it done, but it certainly looked like it was going to be easier than that in the first half.
Yeah, they were a much better team last night, and the Seahawks, look, they're going back to old school football, run, and that's their strength. More teams that don't have great offenses in terms of explosiveness should go this route. Carroll is doing a brilliant coaching job, and they're now a virtual lock to make the playoffs.
Yeah, and a very dangerous team because, I mean, we started out in September and we went through September, October, and part of November where the explosive offenses, Kansas City, the Rams, and the Saints, just dominated football. And basically people were saying, well, defense is dead. There are no defenses that can stop offenses anymore. And to a degree, that is true if you don't have anything going for you on the offensive side of the ball. Yes, you can dominate a bad team. But this past couple weeks, we've seen Dallas shut down the Saints. We saw Tampa Bay pretty much shut down the Saints for most of the game. And we saw the Bears just shut down the Rams. We saw, we saw the Seattle defense shut down Minnesota, and we saw the Baltimore Ravens, who have a great defense as well, give Kansas City all they could want. So,
and the Giants even shut down Mark Sanchez.
I'm not going to give them any credit for that. But I think, it's amazing to me how teams make their evaluations, but how could you bring in Mark Sanchez over just about anybody else out there? And the guy was never any good. I mean, a great-looking guy, smart guy, had a nice financial career because of football, but talk about playing and picking up an offense and learning a playbook quickly, and et cetera, no way. We still go through this Colin Kaepernick situation where but I'm not going to get into that, but unless you want to. But
he's not playing, so that's done.
Right.
The only matter to be settled there is the collusion case, and I'm not a judge. So I don't have any idea how that'll go. So it doesn't matter though. He was never a consideration.
I would like to put a bet on that if somebody would take the bet. I would love to bet that he's going to win that case because it's pretty obvious to me that
he's got a pretty good shot.
Yeah, I'd say so. So if anybody has a betting line, I'm coming after it. But there's a lot going on. We've got, like you mentioned, Seattle is virtually in the playoffs now. We've got a lot of teams out there that are still struggling to get in there.
Well, yeah, and there's a huge game this week. The Miami-Minnesota game is now a really, really big game. Now, the Dolphins win this game, they can make the playoffs. And I can tell you something. If they make the playoffs, that coach, he ought to be canonized. They ought to just put him in the Hall of Fame. Because that's not a playoff team. But, crazy play or not, they won that game against the Patriots, and they actually played really well for the most part in that game. And he's doing a fantastic job with them. And they are, I think, the way I'm looking at it, if they win this game, and they certainly have a possibility of going into Minnesota and winning, they're actually going to become a favorite to make the playoffs. I also don't, I'm also not so quick to count out some of the teams that are being thrown to the curb now. chiefly among them the Steelers. I know they haven't played well, but listen, New England has not been that great on the road. Pittsburgh has Roethlisberger on the field this weekend at home. They're going to have a real good chance to win the game. And I think the Steelers are still going to make the play. I think they're still going to win that division.
Well, I'm not going to be, I really don't know. I've seen Mike Tomlin's teams do strange things over the years. And they've played 4 bad games in a row. They beat Jacksonville, but it was they played horrible. They played Denver, they lost in Denver. They just have not, they gave up the big lead to the Chargers. The Chargers are a very good team, of course. And then last week, they haven't played well in a long time.
And they've got the Bucks this weekend, so that's certainly a game they ought to win. In fact, they ought to win it big. But I don't think I don't know. I'm just not as high on the Ravens as a lot of people seem to be. I mean, they're kind of fun to watch with Jackson, but and the defense, I guess, is pretty good. But I don't know. I'm not as sold on them as some other people.
Well, the Flacco is healthy again. You got an ankle for Jackson. Flacco's still getting paid a lot of money.
Yeah, but he's not very good.
Well, he can throw the ball as far as anybody, and he can, But you might see a little bit of innovation that you saw earlier in the year where they played both of them at the same time.
I think that's a mistake. I think Jackson's their quarterback. Unless he can't go, I think he's got to be the quarterback.
I'm not disagreeing. I think Jackson is the quarterback, but I think now you could bring Flacco in and confuse the defenses quite a bit. But the primary guy is Jackson. Instead of, in the beginning of the year, it was Flacco, and they were bringing Jackson in occasionally. Make it opposite now. You can confuse defenses that can't get adjusted to these things, and I think the Ravens are going to be dangerous. I think they're very dangerous.
Yeah, but they got to get to the playoffs, so to beat Tampa, then they got to go and play the Chargers on the road. That's not going to be easy.
Except that game is going to come after the Chargers have to play the Chiefs. That's a tough one.
But it's still you're going to have a team that's Chargers are better than the Ravens. So and it's still if the Chargers happen to beat the Chiefs, I don't know about a letdown situation. And then they've got to go to Cleveland on the last weekend of the season, and that's no cinch.
Not this year. No.
Nope. So I think it's wide open.
That's what makes it so interesting. These last couple of weeks are going to be dynamite. Now you have a little issue here. Let's talk about this. Some of these teams are locked in. They're in real good shape, like the Saints. They're locked in now. They have to go to the Panthers, who lost 5 games in a row. They look pretty bad, but they're a big favorite on the road on Monday night.
As they should be.
And the Panthers, if you get Seattle, not Seattle, but the Saints have not played well since that Dallas game.
Until the second half. They got it rolled up. They got it rolling. They were terrible in the first half, but they got it going in the second half against Tampa. And I think they're just fine. I'm not. I got to tell you, I think Carolina stinks. Okay, and I'm gonna end up winning. I didn't think I would. I mean, they were 6-2, and it's like, well, this ticket's dead. But I had the under on the Carolina Panthers win total, which indicates I didn't think they were very good to begin with. And as it turns out, they're not. And with Greg Olsen out, their offense struggles. I think their play calling at times is mystifying. I mean, they've got a goal-to-go situation this past weekend, and they don't run the ball, which is what their strength is. They're a running football team. So, to me, at this point, I think they're a mess. And I think the Saints are going to go in and stop them on Monday. I don't think that game's going to be that close. To me, I'd rather have a team that's heading to the playoffs, wants to stay sharp, and I think Sean Payton will want to stay sharp against a team that's falling apart. They've lost 5 in a row, and they're just not a good football team. And I think there's still a perception out there that New Orleans or that Carolina still is, I don't know, some kind of capable football team. That line less than a touchdown, to me, play the road favorite in that one.
Well, I might end up disagreeing with you on that on a couple of occasions. I think the Saints were, unbelievable, and Breeze was hitting 80% of his passes, et cetera, et cetera. And then he got to Dallas, ran into a good defense. Last week he didn't look good till the second half, but that's against Tampa, who really doesn't have much of a defense. So I'm not going to put a lot up on that. Now you have this is what happens. You get into week 13, 14, 15, 16. You got some tired teams out there, and I think the Saints, you got a 39-year-old quarterback out there too. Some of these teams get a little fatigued. They do definitely get banged up. So now you're going to start to see some of these teams that they're locked in position. They might start relaxing a little bit.
The Saints aren't locked in anything yet.
Oh, I disagree with that. Who's going to beat them in their division?
Well, no, in their division. They want that number one seed.
Well,
they're in good shape. Okay, but they're only a half. If they lose this game and the Rams win, they're back in the number 2 slot again.
That is
a big game.
It is a big game. The Saints do have a little bit of an edge if they end up tied because they did head to head. They did beat them.
Right, but the thing is, right now, if the Rams lose on Sunday night at home to the Eagles, if they do, that would change everything, and New Orleans would then be in a little more of a position where they can coast a bit. But assuming the Rams win on Sunday night, this is still a very big game for the Saints.
Well, I'm just not as thrilled about laying that many points in the division rivalry, even though Carolina has looked terrible. I'm not saying I'm going to put my money on Carolina, but I definitely am not going in there putting money on the Saints. In my opinion,
sure, I already did.
Okay.
Well, I'll throw this in. I've been on the Saints every week for a long time now, and they're the best spread team in the league this season. They're 10-3, so it's fair to say that even if I blow this game, the Saints have made me a lot of money this NFL season, and I'm not even thinking about fighting the hand that's been beating me. And look, my numbers are my numbers, and I've got the game 10. Okay, and that's my numbers don't have any bias in it, and I made the game 10. So I'm playing it, and if I get beat, that's okay. Then I'll adjust the numbers, and we'll see what happens after that. But I know I got lucky on Sunday, laying the points with the Saints. I should not have covered. But the fact is, it still counts as a win, and I did not call the book that I bet with and say, look, I didn't deserve to win, so you can go ahead and charge me for a loss.
Oh, you don't do that anymore?
No.
There are some other pretty big games out there. You got this Indianapolis-Dallas game. Now Dallas is locked in. I don't see how Dallas is going to end up losing that NFC East division.
No, they're in great shape.
They're in great shape, but the Colts are not. The Colts have to. Nope. They have a lot of pressure. This game, they're sitting. The Colts are sitting at 3. You can look at some 2.5s out there too, but you got Andrew Luck against Dak. That's the quarterback matchup. You've got the Colts have been very good this year, except for that unexplainable shutout at Jacksonville, but they've been very good as well. That's a very big matchup, more so for the Colts.
Way bigger, because the Colts they're not in great shape on the tiebreakers.
No.
So, that's where the Dolphins are ahead of them on the tiebreakers, I believe. And the Colts have to win this game. This is a really big game for them.
Yeah, it is.
I think the odds makers did a good job with the number, making the Colts the favorite. The Dallas defense is playing fantastic football right now, so I don't know that I'm probably going to stay out of that game, Jim. I think situationally it does favor the Colts, though.
I know you're pressed for time, so I won't push this too far because I know you got to go. Dave does about 10 podcasts a day.
That's free today.
The Chicago Bears did a job on the Rams the other night.
No, the Bears. I wish I trusted their offense more, but their defense can keep them in any football game.
They are
Great defense.
They are a dynamite defense. Now, I don't know how much well, you basically just said it. I don't know how much I trust Trubisky at quarterback. That's just a. I'm not sure that he is a NFL quarterback.
I look. He's only in his second year, and he really didn't have much college experience. So, I think the book's still definitely open there. But right now, he's better with his legs than his arms. And the thing on him is, he's really good when he's able to throw to his first read.
Right.
Okay, if he's got his first read, he'll nail it. He's got a good arm. But once he has to go through progressions, if the first guy isn't there, that's when he gets in trouble. And that's probably going to do them in the playoffs. I don't think they'll be able to. I just don't think they'll be able to beat the Saints and Rams in a playoff situation because of their offense.
Now this week he's going to go up against Aaron Rodgers, who.
It's a big game for them. The Packers don't think they're out of it. And you saw the change. Look, I know they were playing Atlanta and the Falcons stink. But Green Bay they were a much different looking football team. They were out there having fun this past Sunday. I think McCarthy being let go, even if it was in the middle of the season, I think it was the right move to make. And you saw a team that went out there and had a different attitude on Sunday. And look, they're going into this game with nothing to lose. And the Bears could relax here. I think it's a dangerous spot for Chicago.
Yeah, it definitely is a dangerous spot, but I'll tell you what, they're going to get after Aaron Rodgers, and if they can play that physical game against Aaron, that could be a hell of a war.
Well, and I know some people sneeze at revenge, but I think this is a substantial revenge game for the Bears because they had the Packers wiped out way back in, week 2, and they blew the game. And that was the game Rodgers got hurt, and then he came back, and it was one of the great comebacks of his career. And I don't think the Bears have forgotten about that. There's no love lost between these two franchises. So I don't. I'm not going to be going against the Bears here because they're better than Green Bay. But the Packers are going to come. They're going to come in flying in this one.
Dave, I know you're busy. All your picks are at jimfeist.com. People can go there and get Dave's analysis and picks as well as mine.
Right now.
Pardon me?
I have some bowl games up right now. I won't have anything up there today. I played one college basketball game, which was my free play on Colorado, and I'm just killing the NHL. I mean, it's one of the best runs I've ever had in the NHL. That's how it's absolutely enormous run. There's 10 games on the schedule tonight, and I couldn't find a single game that fit in my projections. So what are you going to do? I have no hockey tonight.
Well, it's a small card. The college kids are they're taking tests. That's why you're seeing less games. But there are some spots that you can pick here and there in the pros and the college in basketball. I also have just put up some bowl games. So go to jimfeist.com for all of our stuff. And Dave, unless you have something else you want to add, we'll close it off for today.
I'm good.
Okay, Dave, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it. And everybody out there, make sure you tune in again. Each day we have a podcast up. Dave, thank you and good luck.
Thanks, Jim.